But
Noted.
now, what I'm wondering, that how is she, like yesterday I was listening to Mamata Banerjee during the counting when the process was on, and I think in between she spoke to the reporter. So she said she will demand countermanding. Now today in the press conference there was no word on countermanding the elections. There is no word of how she's going to hold on to the vote chori issue. Now she's saying that 100 seats have been stolen. If that is the case, there is no roadmap how the election petitions will be filed. At least she should have spelled it out in the press conference, but there was
I,
no
I,
word on that.
I tell you because I have hindsight benefit. The first election that Mamata Banerjee faces as president of Trinamool Party was, if you don't mind, when I was chief electoral officer.
Yes.
We both of us had black hair at that time. So I'm talking 1997, 90, and Dada, thoda dekhe. We've gone through that phase. Where she made this terrible mistakes is that at every stage of counting, that I told her even then, if you want to countermand an election, then you raise an objection during the first round of counting. You prepare a document, you hold back the counting, you write your documents with numbers and voter numbers. Those zamana mein we used to have numbers and this and that. You sign it and tell the counting officer, you sign receipt. Repeat that for the next round. Repeat that for the next round. After 16 rounds where you have objected on numbers, if 12 numbers have been stolen, 18 numbers have been stolen and all that, you have made out a case for recount. You understand? But if you suddenly decide after 16 rounds with no objection that it was fake, election law says you cannot go in for recount. So she knows the election law. Her best advisors have been thrown away. She now has this nephew who again has his iPad to advise. So people who know the law could have advised her the way I'm saying that you go in
Yes.
for this thing. Even now, I'm telling you, one way of appeal that would convince people is that if X constituency, the number of voters who have been deleted are, say, 75,000 or say 30,000, and the defeat margin is 5,000, 10,000. I can now say that 30,000 had been deleted
Yes.
and 10,000. I will draw on Justice Bagchi's statement and say that you have to consider this fresh. So there are
So,
ways out. Tantrum is not a way of running governance.
right.
Tantrum.
No,
So
but
this
Mr.
was,
Jawahar Sircar, I also want to speak about to you about the politics which she's going to do now. Now, today she said that she's part of the India bloc. She mentioned how Rahul Gandhi called her, Sonia Gandhi called her, Akhilesh has invited her to Delhi. Now, what does that mean? Because when India Alliance was the India bloc was formed, she walked out and she was non-committal towards India bloc. But now she says she's part of the India bloc. Where do you see Mamata Banerjee now in the national politics? Will she be part of this opposition group? Because yesterday, when the results were coming in, people said regional parties are decimated, and now it's advantage Congress. We'll have a fight which is going to be between Congress and BJP in 2029. But now, when Mamata Banerjee has acknowledged the opposition members, and she herself is saying that she's part of the India bloc, where do you see her now? If not in Bengal, of course, she'll be active in Bengal as well. But beyond Bengal, what is Mamata Banerjee, according to you, going to do?
see, it is that, that tear the petal, he loves me not, he loves me not, and that sort of thing, where the India bloc is concerned. Last week, when Rahul Gandhi came, he lodged a direct complaint against Mamta, saying that she's
Yes.
misbehaving with us in here and there. So
Hmm.
she chooses to come near on the mood of the day, on the mood of the day, or the whichever side she looks at early in the morning. So today it's there. Tomorrow I'll say I'll not sign the petition against the impeachment of the speaker. Day after tomorrow I'll say I'll support Dhankar. Next day I'll say I'll go in for. See, there is no one of the exasperating
So
reasons
you
why
were
I
saying the
left.
India bloc, even though she's part of the India bloc won't be able to trust her completely.
I don't think because nobody knows what's next. What's next?
No, because
So India.
I want to read out Rahul Gandhi's tweet. He
Hmm,
has said, I'm just going to quote that exactly,
hmm,
that some in the Congress and others are gloating about TMC's loss. They need
hmm.
to understand this clearly. The theft of Assam and Bengal's mandate is a big step forward by the BJP in its mission to destroy Indian democracy. Put petty politics aside. This is not about one party or another. This is about India. He's put a national flag, an icon of the national flag, and then he's written that. And so, how does one see this? Now, these are, of course, very pleasant overtures made by Rahul Gandhi. But can he trust Mamata Banerjee? Are we in a position to say that Mamata Banerjee will be a steadfast player in the India bloc? And will all of them together take the vote chori issue to the street? Can one say that?
Have you seen Dodgem cars? Dodgem cars where 9 of them play around and bump into each other, then
Yes.
separate, bump into each other. India, that's like that. I've been part of it. I've been their emissary and all that. The Dodgem car, they're there together. But sometimes they collide, sometimes they separate, sometimes they shake hands, then they move and then collide. So it's a very dynamic relation. Now that DMK has had a thrashing and the TMC has had more than a thrashing, uh, regional, what shall I say, regional hubris can take a little back seat. Can take a little back seat. Look at Kerala. Where do you see India? India 1 defeated India 2. Okay. Here in Bengal, India 1 versus India 2 versus India 3. Let us leave that question and take it itself to sort out. Let us wait for the next photo ops when 7 of them will join hands together and take the photo. I have also done it. So we'll wait for that. I'm a bit cynical about it. Bit cynical about it. So let us see.
But how
Let,
does
uh,
Bengal election change the narrative, the political landscape at the national level? How do you see things changing? Of course, BJP is going to be is gung ho at this point of time because they will be. I mean, there's a saffron surge in West Bengal for the first time in the history. It's a big moment for BJP. But how do we see the national politics from here on changing? The kind of template which we saw in Bengal, which is called the Bengal template, where all the political analysts have been saying that the vote has been stolen thanks to the Supreme Court, thanks to Election Commission, and thanks to the central government. Nobody is bothered about the right to vote. They have to be in power. Come what may, they will apply all sorts of mechanisms to stay in power. If this template is implemented in the states which are to go to polls next year, what happens then?
it is being implemented. My earliest point, which I said, was since Mamata Banerjee was on the edge for slaughter, she should have taken the SIR more seriously
Yes.
as a political contrivance rather than as a political platform. She used it as a political platform. She said, I won't cooperate. She cooperated 200%. Then the Supreme Court stepped in with an completely unprecedented order of handing over executive functions under Section 19 and 23 of the Representation of People Act कि इसको take करो, इसको accept करो, ना करो, to from the EROs to judicial officers.
So you were saying that from that very
Not,
step, in a way, Mamata Banerjee walked into BJP's trap.
it has walked into BJP's trap, and the Supreme Court's role is extraordinary. That's the only mild word I can use. A very extraordinarily helpful role. How and why did you get judicial? Oh, because Bengal officers are all biased. Look at UP. There's no difference between a BJP office and an IAS IPS officer. They all wear tilaks and pata nahi whether they perform havans in office. You have never thought of such things within UP? Look at Madhya Pradesh. Look at some of those Sanghi ruled states. Look at Gujarat. There is the autonomy of officers has been crushed something like 25 years ago. Such wisdom does not dawn upon our honorable judges. A little bit of separation, little bit of sanitization, little bit of cleansing is required, or is it only for Bengal? So, order after order has been passed which do not support the democratic structure of the constitution by the highest court. And everything has been accepted by everyone, including, and this is the most interesting part, including the volatile Bengal voter who said, "Bhan mein jaane do. We just want her out." So they also, in their urge to throw her out, which was very, very apparent, they said, "We just don't care about democratic niceties." So state level acquiescence has taken place. For the Bengal mod to take place in Telangana, a state level acquiescence has to be there that we just don't care, we want this regime out. So if the people, there was no protest altogether. The left, the center, the right, no one protested. It's only a few intellectuals, a few thought leaders who protested and still protest. अब 37 लाख को कैसे निकाल दिया, 35 लाख को कैसे निकाल दिया? They're still horrified at the thought of the Supreme Court of India, the supreme watchman of the Constitution, saying, "Yeah, let the Constitution take a little break, a little summer vacation with LTC. Take summer vacation with LTC and we'll do the rest in the meantime." Now, this is not, and when I'm saying this with the authority of somebody who's held election, done registration. Now, let me give you one example to say why it makes me why it annoys me. 27 lakhs are under adjudication. You know that. I know that. That adjudication could have been done by executive officers as has been done for 75 years without complaint. But नहीं, ये सब तृणमूली है. तृणमूली है तो मान लिया, लेकिन बाकी तो संघी है ना. संघी क्या कुछ दूसरा कुछ बन जाता है. नंबर वन, ये जो तृणमूली है कल संघी बन जाएगा. आप आ गए ना, सब चड्डी पहन के आएंगे. Now, let's put it like this. Only a few cases have been determined by high court judges under this tribunal, which is mysteriously located somewhere between Calcutta and Andamans. It's called a place called Joka. Nobody is allowed to come in. Anyway, I'll not get into that. That's for the election commission. I'm bothered about the justice part. They have determined 2,000 cases. Nobody says what they are doing. It's all in whispers. It's like Gulag, Archipelago, that sort of thing. Nothing happens. From the facts revealed from 2000, 99% of the adjudication cases have been upheld by my lords. My lords have accepted 99% of the cases. So 27 lakh cases, they will accept 26.9 lakh cases. So deliberately you have kept out 27 lakh cases and nobody shouted. Not even Mamata, and that is where I get put off. If she learned how to make an issue, things would have been different. Now that it's all over, it doesn't matter. In election law, it doesn't matter. You can howl, the winds can howl, the winds can scream, nothing will happen. Nothing. Now you'll have to fight it politically.
No, but my last question to you, Mr. Sarkar, is that I'm taking a cue from what she has said in the press conference that she's not going to resign. What is it going to lead to? Like what you said, that is she going to be, she might be divested of a post. Can there be a bigger embarrassment? What should she be ideally be doing? Should she not resign and just put up the fight, whatever
She has made a statement. She has made a statement. She's to be persuaded to let the things move on their own legal pattern. And if she has the dum, hit the streets on swearing in day. hit the streets on swearing in day. Have a parallel swearing in. Have a parallel kangaroo court. Have a parallel kangaroo court and say what happened. Cameras will all move there. So there are strategies that she can do.
So let me now tag this interview to Mamata Banerjee and the All India Trinamool Congress also, that this is the advice given by Mr. Jawahar Sircar to you.
No. I've seen it. She should. You have let everything else pass. When the hand was on the shoulder, you let it pass. When the hand went further down to the thigh, you let it pass. And I'll stop there. So you understand? These are estoppels. Why did you allow them to pass? Why did you allow them to pass? And now you're on the wrong side of the law. Given the Supreme Court's mood on Bengal in SIR, you're always on the wrong side of law. Because they start with exasperation saying, "Ye kyun aisa ho raha? Aisa kyun ho raha?" She fought like a tomcat for the wrong reasons. That you have to understand. It's what I wrote in one of the pieces, that you hold your breath, smile sweetly, and then give a backhand smash ever so sweetly. That is the problem with Madame Banerjee, with whom some knowledge of working. She blows up. That's all. Otherwise, a great street fighter. And she actually, remember what I'm telling you today. Mamata Banerjee thrown out into the opposition may be more dangerous than a Mamata Banerjee kept us here. Because she will then be in her elements.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. And this is why we need to watch now very closely what Mamata Banerjee's next moves will be. But for now, I think we are told that the swearing-in ceremony in West Bengal will be held on 9th of May, which happens to be Rabindranath Tagore's birth anniversary. Who will be the CM? Pardon?
I'm so glad that the new gentleman knows it. Because I'm so glad that he knows that it's Rabindranath. So somebody must have told, some bureaucrat must have. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway.
But just before I wind up the interview, a very brief answer from you that are you happy with the saffron surge in West Bengal? As a Bengali who stays in Calcutta, how are you going to take this?
No, it has this plus and minus. The plus part of it was the people were completely fed up with corruption, extortion, joblessness. It's like a Harlem sort of thing. Bengal was moving fast towards Bimaru states. Now, and the center was reveling in scorched earth policy, which was selective regarding West Bengal. They gave funds to Tamil Nadu and Kerala. They would not give funds to West Bengal. And one of the reasons was Mamata Banerjee would not even accept the funds if they gave them. It's something very personal. That's the whole problem. Now, even if for some time relationships are established at human level and funds flow and ideas come and things like that, let's hope for the better that these fellows will have to prove their worth. They'll have to prove their worth. So something will come, but I hope it does not come along with Jai Shri Ram only. And Musalman Maro, of course, the court has said that Maro that is not provocation.
Right.
I mean, I'm getting amazed at the court. Goli Maro, Sare ko, or whatever is not an offensive statement. We'll make that before the court next time. Because they said it's not an offensive one.
Right.
So,